Imagine trying to live your life, enjoying a new relationship, and just wanting to have peace without any drama, only for your ex to keep dragging you back into it over a divorce that's already been finalized for over a year. This is exactly what Teyana Taylor is facing right now with her ex-husband, Iman Shumpert. She's been doing her best to move on, keeping a low profile, focusing on her career, and enjoying her new romance with Aaron Pierre, known as Mufasa from The Lion King. But Iman doesn't seem to want the drama to end. Recently, Teyana went live on Instagram and revealed all the details about how Iman has been taking shots at her through his music and comedy skits, leaking their divorce settlement information, and even allegedly paying blogs to make her look like the villain. If that wasn't enough, she has now filed a lawsuit against him, claiming that he's behind the leaks that have caused a wave of hate from his fans. Let's break down all this drama because it's a lot, and Teyana is clearly frustrated. To give you some background, Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert finalized their divorce in June 2024, after being married for 7 years and in a relationship for a decade. They share 2 daughters, Junie, who's 9, and Rue Rose, who's 4. Teyana filed for divorce in January 2023, keeping it private initially, but by September of that year, she made it public on Instagram, saying infidelity wasn't the issue, but that they had simply grown apart. She wanted to keep things peaceful, especially for the sake of their children. According to the divorce settlement, Teyana walked away with 4 properties worth over $10 million, a one-time 7-figure payment, and several luxury vehicles, including a $300,000 Maybach, a $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter, and a tour bus. She also retained full ownership of her businesses, Taylor Made and Aunties. On the other hand, Iman kept a condo in Miami, some properties in South Georgia and Decatur, and his Shumpert investments. He's also responsible for $8,000 per month in child support and covering the girls' private school tuition. At first glance, it looked like a clean break. Sure, it was messy, but it seemed finalized. Teyana got a large chunk of assets, Iman kept his share, and they both moved on. But fast forward to March 2025, nearly a year later, and suddenly, details of their settlement are popping up all over the internet. Blogs are spreading stories about how Teyana supposedly took everything Iman had. The timing of these leaks is suspicious. It happened right after Teyana went public with Aaron Pierre at the Oscars, sharing black and white photos of them together, looking happy and unaffected. The internet erupted, and not long after, Teyana was being criticized online, with some calling her a gold digger and others accusing her of spitefully taking everything from Iman. Meanwhile, Iman has been releasing new music and doing comedy, skits that seem to be directed at her, fueling the narrative even further. Teyana wasn't about to let this go unnoticed. She went live on Instagram a few days ago, and she didn't hold back. She started by saying she just wants to live her life and enjoy her new relationship without the ongoing drama. Teyana Taylor expressed her frustration on Instagram Live, saying, "What if I just want to live my life and enjoy my new relationship in peace? Do you think I have time to discuss a divorce that's been finalized over a year ago?" She pointed out that Iman Shumpert has been throwing indirect jabs at her since their split, whether through his music, comedy skits, or any other platform he can access. Meanwhile, she's been staying quiet, focusing on her work and keeping to herself. However, the leak of their divorce settlement was the tipping point for her. She accused Iman of deliberately leaking those documents to tarnish her image, especially since it came right after she started publicly seeing Aaron Pierre. Teyana explained, "He's been so pressed ever since I started seeing Aaron," confirming rumors about her relationship with Pierre and how Iman isn't handling it well. She went on to clarify that their divorce was meant to remain private. "Divorce stuff should stay private. It can stay private if both parties let it," she said. Teyana shared that she had attempted to settle things out of court by arranging a mediation with Iman, but he never showed up. "Mediation helps avoid going to court. But since he wouldn't show up, we had no choice but to go to court," she said, adding that she ended up covering the mediation costs herself. When it didn't work, they were forced to go before a judge. Teyana admitted that her biggest regret was giving Iman so much grace during the process, a gesture he didn't return. "I gave him grace, but it only backfired. He didn't give it back," she said. The situation grew even more intense when Teyana accused Iman of paying blogs to spread negative stories about her. She claims she has evidence that he paid to have stories posted that painted her as someone trying to ruin him. "I'm getting death threats from his fans," she said, her voice shaking with anger. She reached out to Iman, hoping he would step in and stop the situation, but his response was, "I thought it was you leaking stuff. If anything, I've stayed quiet to protect you." Teyana wasn't convinced. "How does staying silent protect me?" she shot back. "You stayed quiet while people think I took everything from you. How is that protecting me?" She explained that, post-divorce, they had been on good terms, or at least she thought so. "I didn't even know we were beefing," she said. "I contacted him like, 'Hey baby daddy, what's going on?' and found out he's paying to spread these rumors about me." She also brought up an incident from the height of their divorce proceedings last year, when rumors spread that Iman had her utilities cut off, power, water, everything, just to spite her. At the time, Teyana publicly denied the claim, stating, "Iman hadn't done anything like that. We would never be sitting ducks," she said. However, during the live session, she admitted that she had lied to protect him. "Who ran to the internet protecting him? Me," she said. "The power got turned back on the same day because me and my kids will never be left without, but he did that." Teyana Taylor has finally reached her limit in defending her ex-husband, Iman Shumpert, and during a recent Instagram live session, she made it clear that she's done shielding him from public criticism. She revealed that in the past, she had covered for Iman because he's the father of her children and she didn't want him to be dragged through the mud online. However, the release of their divorce settlement documents was the last straw. "I protected him because of the kids, but I'm not doing it anymore," she declared. Teyana went on to address Iman's behavior during their divorce proceedings, calling out the hurtful comments he made in court. "I watched you say some really cruel and nasty things to me, right in front of my face," she shared. Despite this, she explained that she still gave him grace. She also recalled how Iman had continued to make jabs at her in public, especially through skits after their separation. One skit, with comedian Rico Ojo, portrayed Iman as miserable because he chose Teyana as his baby mama. The skit included a line that implied his unhappiness. "Pick your baby mamas wisely, 'cause my homie ain't smiled in 10 years. Another skit had Iman joking about giving Teyana $1 million, only for him to end up broke and dealing with a repo man. Teyana expressed how frustrated she was by these antics. "He's been throwing shots at me this whole time and you didn't see me do any of that," she said. "All I've done is work and mind my own business." The fallout from the leaked divorce settlement has been significant. While some supported Teyana, praising her for emerging from the divorce stronger, others criticized her, accusing her of being a gold digger and weaponizing their children against Iman. One person online even went as far as to say she was so disrespectful to him that he should have left her for alienation of affection. Another comment read, "Marriage is a business and y'all never going to learn. She was already rich, she just trying to mess up his life." Teyana responded to these claims fiercely during her live session. "Show me the proof where I've ever said anything negative about Iman publicly," she challenged her critics. "I've done nothing but protect this man." After her emotional live session, Teyana decided to take further action. She filed a lawsuit against Iman, accusing him of contempt for leaking their divorce settlement details. According to court documents obtained by People magazine, she is asking a Georgia court to hold Iman accountable for the leak, claiming that the only way the media could have obtained the sealed documents is if Iman himself had provided them. The divorce settlement was finalized in July 2024 and was sealed to protect their privacy. Teyana claims that the timing of the leak, right after her appearance at the Oscars with her new partner, Aaron Pierre, and the release of Iman's new rap song, Get It, Got It Good, is highly suspicious. She argues that Iman is using their divorce to boost his own public profile, all while exposing her to negative public scrutiny. In the lawsuit, Teyana is requesting a hearing and a $1,000 fine for Iman's alleged contempt. She's also demanding that Iman pay her legal fees, citing his bad faith and vexatious conduct. She made it clear that the leak of their divorce settlement was not a coincidence. "It came out just days after my photos with Aaron went viral," she pointed out, adding that it conveniently lined up with Iman's new music release. Teyana believes This was all part of Iman's strategy to use their messy divorce to gain attention at her expense. In response to the lawsuit, Iman's lawyer issued a statement to TMZ Sports, adamantly denying any involvement in the leak. "My client Iman Shumpert has never, under any circumstances, leaked any of the information or allegations stated in any of the pleadings," the attorney said. As agreed by the parties and ordered by the court, Iman has not and will not disclose any of the contents of the now sealed file, nor will he reveal or discuss the substance or content of any orders or pleadings. Iman's legal team is now asking the court to dismiss the case, insisting that he is innocent of the accusations. They maintain that Iman had nothing to do with the leak and that any claims of his involvement are baseless. The ongoing legal battle highlights the escalating tensions between Teyana and Iman, with both sides presenting differing views on the situation. Teyana's decision to take legal action comes after a long period of her trying to keep things civil. She initially hoped that mediation would be a more peaceful route, but when Iman failed to show up, she had no choice but to go to court. The fact that she's now suing him for contempt reflects just how far things have gone and how frustrated she is with the entire situation. The leaked settlement is just one part of the drama that has played out since their split, and it's clear that Teyana is determined to fight back and make sure Iman doesn't continue to drag her name through the mud. Throughout the entire process, Teyana has maintained that she just wants to live her life, focus on her work, and be a good mother to her 2 daughters. But Iman's actions have made that difficult for her, as he continues to fuel the public's scrutiny of her. Teyana has emphasized time and again that she never wanted to air their dirty laundry, but she feels that Iman has forced her hand. By making public jabs at her, leaking their private divorce details, and allowing media outlets to portray her in a negative light, Iman has pushed her to a breaking point. This entire ordeal has put Teyana in a difficult position. As a public figure, she's constantly under the microscope. But now, with the release of the divorce settlement and the public backlash that followed, she finds herself having to defend her reputation and her character. It's clear that Teyana feels betrayed by Iman, someone she thought she could co-parent with in a respectful, private manner. Instead, his actions have turned their divorce into a public spectacle, and she's now fighting back, not only to protect herself, but also to safeguard her children from the fallout. The lawsuit is still in its early stages, and the court will have to decide whether to take action against Iman for the alleged leaks. But for now, it's evident that Teyana is ready to stand her ground and make sure that the truth comes out. Whether or not Iman's legal team can successfully argue that he's innocent of leaking the settlement, only time will tell. What's clear, however, is that Teyana is done being the silent one in this situation. She's taking control of her narrative and refusing to let anyone continue to paint her as the villain.